Hello, everyone. My name is Maíra. I'm a lecturer at the Universidade Estadual de Santa Cruz, which is based in Bahia, Brazil. And I'm glad to be here today to talk a little bit about story on how we have been losing our palms within one of the most important biomes on Earth, which is the Atlantic forests. So we are talking about the second greatest tropical forest in Brazil, which originally covered the entire Atlantic coast, but is now reduced to about 10% of its original extension. And this biome is one of the most important hotspots, biodiversity hotspots on Earth, and because it's home to several endangered and endemic species, such as the golden lion tamarins, and also includes a great variety of fauna and flora species, including the pau-brasil, the tree that gave the name of our country. But we are here to talk about palms, and this biome is also very important because it's home for more than 50 palm species belonging to 10 different genera. And this is really interesting because whenever you go inside a forest fragment in the Atlantic forest, you will definitely find a palm species. And it's really important, not only because for forest structure, but it's also important to offer food resources for a great number of animals. But unfortunately, palms and also the forest fragments where they live have been facing severe threats over the last centuries. We are talking about the large-scale deforestation, forest fragmentation, habitat degradation, and also we are talking about the overexploitation of resources, including some palm species. And here we would like to focus a little bit about the deforestation process, because we are really interested in understanding how deforestation at the landscape scale affects biological groups and ecological processes. In our study group here in Bahia, we have already found that every time that we are losing forests at the landscape scale, we are facing higher light incidence. We are seeing a shrinkage of vegetation structure with a decrease in juvenile plant species, richness, abundance, and also composition. And in this way, this study focus on understand how palm assemblages are affected by landscape deforestation. And for this, we analyze patterns of species richness, species abundance, and species composition, and also classified each species into groups according to its habitat type and occurrence preference. So for this, we selected 9 fragments with different amounts of forest cover surrounding each of them in Southern Bahia state. So here you can see a picture of one of these surveyed forest fragments. And we are talking about highly deforested landscapes with 9% of forest cover remaining up to 75% of forest cover remaining. And we thus went to the field, established one forest plot of 100 meters per 50 meters. And we counted and identified at species level all adult live palm species. And then we analyzed these data, and it was really interesting because we recorded, considering all areas, a total of 18 palm species, including some threatened species like ciagros and the very valuable product, the Palmito jussara, the Euterpe edulis. So in this table, we can see all these 18 species, and we can also see that half of them are found in open areas, mostly in open area habitats, whereas 8 of them are more forest interior species. So, and we also can see here that forest sites surrounding by lower amounts of forest cover have a lower number of stems, palm stems, and also palm species. So here we can see this pattern more clearly. So what we can see is that when we are losing forest cover at the landscape scale, we are observing a lower number of palm species and also a lower number of palm stems. And if we see at about 40% of forest cover, we have less than 10 palm species, which demonstrates that highly fragmented forest landscapes are not enough to safeguard palm assemblages. And here with these composition analysis, considering the DCA, which is the trended correspondence analysis, we really see that forest cover has also strongly affected the species composition patterns, in which those landscapes with greater forest cover exhibit higher composition similarity. So we here have the first DCA axis against the forest cover, which we can see this pattern. And finally, we also saw that habitat loss did not affect palm species uniformly, with habitat type preferences greatly explaining varying degrees of sensitivity. So whereas open area species were favored in the forested areas, forest interior palm species were penalized and were not found, or were found with lower abundance in these sites, retaining lower amount of landscape forest cover. So in summary, our study clearly showed that landscapes with less than forest cover, 40% of forest cover, we found a lower number of palm species and lower number of palm abundance, and also a very different species composition. And as a result, we presume that palm animal interactions, including pollination and seed dispersal, will be greatly compromised over the long term due to the strong association between animals and palm species in this biome. And as I said before, the groups did not respond uniformly, with those palm having large seeded, and also the economic species have been indeed penalized, whereas open area species have thrived in severely deforested landscapes. So we finally suggest some management actions, which includes forest restoration and the reintroduction of animal dispersers in our study area, as we have already lost some key animal dispersers, including the tape. And here is the publication. So if any of you would like to read and know more about this study, and here it goes. And if you are interested in see more papers related to this project, please have a look at our website, and here goes my email as well. So I'd like to thank everyone from the organization of the Palms Conference for this invitation, all my colleagues and co-authors for doing this incredible work with me, people from my lab, the Applied Ecology and Conservation Lab, and the university as well. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in Rio. Bye.